Dressed in blues with a laugh in my eye. Shades of wonder got me on a high. We spin stories in purple and gold. Girls got colors nobody can hold. We mix it up and make it new. Splashy and bold, that's how we do. Running on fun, we won't slow down. Paint the town, turn it upside down. Brush out my favorite traffic jam. Color like a fool, yeah, you know who I am. Dreams on the canvas, magic in my head. Painting out loud, I don't care where I live. Like a fool, splashing wild, breaking the rules. Like a fool, like a fool, like a fool. Every line, every you. Welcome to the dream team, the brush out crew.
Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. How are you all? Happy Monday. Monday, my favorite day of the week. Monday. My goodness. That's what I like to call it. Monday. Let me get this out of the way. We're going to get that clean aesthetic. Don't pay any attention to the oil paint smears. I realized that I never posted for all the world to see, only for the members, the Dan painting. I finished it and I just never posted it. I'm having a crisis. By the way, hit the like button if you enjoy content like this, which I haven't really given you much to enjoy, but I'm just go ahead and hit the like button. I did. I finished the Dan painting and I never posted it. And I'm having a little bit of a personal crisis that maybe you all can help me out with during our brush hour segment. But when I get to that, let me know your thoughts, your thoughts and prayers. Send them my way because I'm running into a personal / business problem when it comes to art and the online world. So I want to hear your thoughts and prayers. But good morning. I see Grape over there and Malaysia on the Kick side. We are crawling our way up over on Kick. We're at 418 followers. I do a lot of gaming over there as well as here on Kick. Be sure to follow me if you haven't. Links should be in the description box down below. Larry the iDot. Whew, almost messed up there. Says, good morning. Larry Knight is here. Spider Unlimited. I do have emails to respond to, by the way. Elijah says, guten Tag. Guten Morgen. Yes, guten Morgen, meine Freundin. German. What are you going to do with it? DL throwing everything and the kitchen sink available for members. Thank you so much. I can't less. Phil, your logos are awesome. Neon and bubble letters. Thank you. It's Epic Mike. I wish I had just a little bit of a snippet with my stuff where I could just be like, oh my man. Oh, there it is. There, our wonderful, our glorious, masculine, manly man. Epic Mike. One of my personal favorites from last year. Mando Unchained, good morning. Monday indeed, because I'm not working. No, I love Mondays because I get to work. I know. I'm crazy. I like being occupied. I like progress. I like productivity. I do enjoy me a time off. Man, I love creating. So every day, pushing the grindstone. Tabitha just dumping paint on our desk for the fun of it. Mike, you don't even know. Like the previous desk that I had, because this is a brand new desk. It's actually a standing desk. And everywhere. I remember the first desk I bought when I was still living at home and my dad was noticing stuff and he was trying to clean stuff. And I'm like, don't worry about it. I'm like, it's not going to stay white. And he just kind of looked at me a little disgruntled. And it's like, as this is an artist's desk, it's never going to stay perfectly clean. What are you expecting? I mean, when I moved out and we got rid of all our stuff, we started finding all the paint stains on the carpet that I tried to get out and cover and hide and clean. What are you going to do? If you're going to be an artist, if you're going to be digital, here's the thing, even if you're going to be a digital artist, you're still going to make a mess. Why? Because you drink beverages. You're going to eat food. Okay. You know how many times I've spilled coffee on this rest? You can even see it. I've tried to clean. It's just, there's no safety. And I just call that being human. It's not even about being an artist. But the fact of the matter is, you're gonna get dirty. You're gonna get in the grit of it all. Cavatino and Spicy. Hello there. Chris, Mike, the stains on Dan's desk are of dead instinct. I may have killed a bug or two on my desk as well. That's why. Do you know how often I say that? That's wild, bro. I'm just quoting you. Actually, for a while there, Mike, all I could hear in my head was, "What makes a house a home?" Like it would just constantly. I'm like, of all the things to have an earworm for, what makes a house a home? Oh, I suspect this is from Google Translate. Harry, dein Geschicht macht dein Morgen viel heller und die Sonne steigt noch tief. Back at you. Tabitha is the Yoda of artistic instruction, and it's Tabitha time! Mighty Morphin Tabitha. It's Makini Draws! Good morning. I hope everything's going well for you on the West Coast over there. Makini, we gotta talk. And we've been saying it for a while, but we gotta get together. We gotta draw. We gotta figure out where our stars align. Let's do it. I'll have to message you. The messes represent the journey. Either that or the clumsiness. All right, we're all caught up. Thank you for being here. Let's get to drawing because we want to make Maria happy. According to Marina, the fake news is that we don't make art on this channel. Okay? We don't make art. You know that she gave me grief that it took me an hour and a half to draw this soda can, but that's also because I had a friend on the show. You know, so you get to talking. It's hard. It's hard to host. It's hard to entertain and draw. So we're going to make sure that we do that today. And I want you all to make sure you tell Maria she's fake news. Okay. Fake news. Hey, it's Moss morning. What's happening over here? What is crack-a-lackin' over here is this image that I started working on a little bit more last night to try to get it going. And we're doing fantastic, sarcastic, rescuing Sevvy trying to rescue Sevvy because she sacrificed her well-being, her life for a Diet Coke. In a video game, by the way. We Were Here Expeditions, I think it was. So if you don't know the lore behind it, and if you don't know what I'm Dreaming Tabitha, an artist here on YouTube, and I like to make funny little comic strips and pictures of my friends and their gaming experiences because it's a hoot and half listening to the words that we never thought we would ever use when we game. And in this particular instance, Fantastic Sarcastic and Sevvy Love were gaming in the escape room journey game of We Were Here Expeditions, I think the Friendship. And at the end of the game, I think it was the end of the game, they were trying to escape and they had to try to hold on to a wooden barrel in the middle of a torrent of rain in the ocean. And this is kind of a splice of real life meets gaming. Sevvy in the game, Sevvy and Fantastic had to hold on to each other and like rock back and forth on top of the barrel so they wouldn't slide off into the water. And while they were trying to do this and Fantastic was figuring out the method, in real life, Sevvy reached for a Diet Coke and took a sip, and she wasn't paying attention from what I'm understanding. And her character slid off of the barrel and Fantastic couldn't rescue her. So that's kind of the story behind this, where it's like Sevvy sacrificed her soul. She sacrificed her life for a Diet Coke. So that's where we're at today. Sevvy's face still needs a little bit work in this particular drawing. I will say that she is the person that I have the most fun/difficult time creating in chibi form. She has very specific facial features. Of course, they all do. But I find it very interesting how certain people, in order for them, in my style of caricatures, really need specific features in order to tell who it is. Otherwise, I'm not happy. I mean, maybe other people don't care, but for me, so if I might bring up a couple of pictures, like here's Sevvy, the first time I ever drew Sevvy. And it took me, out of all of these characters, a very long time to get Sevy's face just right. And I don't know if it's because she has numerous features that are very distinctive to her, whether it be her eyebrows, her eyelashes. She has the most amazing nose to draw. I know that might sound weird, but you know what? When you're an artist, you're allowed to say weird things and people just think you're quirky. They just think you're cute. It's fine. It's whatever. It's okay. It's not like I never told somebody that they had the legs of a horse before. And then we have Sevvy here and trying to draw her from a different perspective. And as again, you can see very dynamic eyelashes, very distinct eyebrows. Again, the really awesome nose. But one thing you also notice is like with her cheeks and they're slightly lower than what my other chibi characters might look like when I draw them. A lot of them have very similar features, but at the same time, trying to dissect what is it that makes somebody them in translation to a caricature. And so that has been quite the journey with trying to create Sevvy, and it helps me with other people that I make. I've got like our Fantastic Four people. You make slight changes, and you suddenly have very interesting characters that have different structure to them, even if it's just slightly, and it makes all the difference in the world. So even here with Drunk 3PO's character, I did make the face a little bit longer and slightly more square. Of course, this is also looking forward rather than from the side. But even when I did these characters from Geeks and Gamers, Beardo, X-Wing, and Jeremy, trying to find the unique aspects of these characters, even though using the same foundation, is difficult. And so obviously it also comes down to how often do you draw these characters? How well do you know the characters that you're drawing, which kind of comes into play when we're drawing like the Canadian bear, situation down here, which we will be returning to the Canadian bear. We are going to get that book finished this year. I'm super excited about it. I did kind of lose excuse me, I've misplaced the original book where I wrote down my ideas. I have an understanding of how the whole story goes, but there were a couple of pieces where I was like, what was that supposed to be? And I didn't finish the storyboard. So I went into the process of finishing the storyboard, and then we're going to continue on with the artwork for itself. But anyway, so I'm glad that I have these pictures of Sevvy. Actually, I need to bring them up so I have it as a reference. Sometimes you have to look at the artwork itself for the reference, and then sometimes you need to look at the person, because obviously the artwork is only, again, a caricature of that person. So anyway, but oh my gosh, stars and garters, what? $100? What makes a house a home? That whole thing was Fantastic's fault. He redeemed Diet Coke to distract Sevvy. Then he dropped her. That could change the whole outcome of this comic strip. Larry, thank you. I don't have what do we do? Let's see. I don't have anything for that. We'll just play a bunch.
Thank you for the joy you show. My heart's desire. Stomp, stomp, roar, roar. Let's dance like dinosaurs. Stomp, stomp, roar. Oh no! Oh, it's so good! You're gonna have to try this.
I am a complete and total pop culture noob. I know nothing.
Just gonna throw everything in the kitchen sink. I need $100. All right, Larry, you've donated. I think that's the most I've ever gotten, perhaps, in a super chat, which I'm flabberty-dastarded, which I think it's supposed to be gastarded. But anyway, Larry, give me an idea. What should I do for $100 super chat? Since now it's in the realm of possibility. I thought making a $50 donation would be the highest I would ever need to create a little, video for, but apparently the sky's the limit now. So what chat? Well, Larry, we'll give Larry the floor. What do you think would be a good idea for, unless you want to request a video? I need to make more of my little comic strip videos. It takes time. It takes time. It is now my ambition to end up in Tabitha comic. You got to do something interesting, Manda. You got to catch my attention. it just happens. Like, it just happens. Or you can hire me to make something for you. I do have commissions open. I'm emailing people today for commissions, and I've been working hard on the commissions that I already have. You know who you are. The one that you hired me for that is out of my wheelhouse. It's still in motion. I have poured over 16 hours into this, and I'm grateful. It's definitely helping me get out of my comfort zone. It's helping me understand how to create even more. So I want you to know it's not like it fell by the wayside. And I was going to give you an update today in case you were wondering, but this going to be it's helping me to know for future commissions how to gauge timing for people. And I appreciate everybody that's hired me thus far, because it's definitely helped me understand, okay, I need to put parameters here. I need to organize this. I need to explain this more. Super grateful. Achilles Jones for 5 says, Happy New Year, Tabitha. Wish you health, wealth, and joy for 2026. Achilles Jones.
Today is Friday. Today is Friday.
He said, I don't want it to be Monday anymore. He's like, for 5, I want to make it Friday. Hello, Nug. I hope it's not a bad word. I'm not familiar with all the things, but just welcome in and behave. Freddie, hello, brush hour. In other words, what is Sevvy? Who? Where is Sevvy? What is Sevvy? Let me see. Moss eating mayo. You want me? I don't know how to make a video of Moss eating mayo for. You want me to make? I don't know. So for $100, you can see Moss eating mayo. What if I made like a video of mayonnaise doing something? We could maybe do that, and then just have Moss's head pop up. Oh, we'll be in talks. People better be. Yeah, they better. All right. So my conundrum. Well, you know what? Before I get to my conundrum, which, by the way, I'm super excited to get to the rough. I say the rough. It's the woolly part around Fantastic's parka here, because I have a specific brush. Let me show you. I do. It's actually there it is. I have a fur set, and so I think it's going to be really fun to add a little bit more realistic elements to this particular piece. So if I see, look how fun that's going to be. That's going to be really cool to do around. So that is also when it comes to creation, character creation and design and all this kind of stuff. I've said this before, but in case you're new here, because we do get some new people, thank you, shout out. Is that I'm not going to put that around Sevvy. Part of Sevvy being Sevvy is her beautiful hair, but also it's not just about, oh, she's a woman, we need to have her hair out. It's about being able to recognize the character itself. If I put that thing around Sevvy, you might not be able to recognize her quite as quickly. And we're just going to kind of pretend. I'm probably going to put it like around her neck here, just like the indication that the hood fell off. And so we've got her hair flowing in the wind. And then we've got the iconic, non-existent little sprout that for some reason I always draw whenever I'm doing Sevvy's character. But it's been really hard. One thing, and this is not critiques. Nobody take this as a slight to anybody that I draw. What's fascinating with doing Sevvy as well is that Sevvy has hooded, I think that's what they're called. I like to call, people call them bedroom eyes. Okay. I like to call them half-mast. Some people might say, I think they might call it hooded. I don't know. I don't think it's called hooded. But Sevvy has these beautiful eyes that, like I said, they call them bedroom eyes. Just because they're not always wide open. I mean, I'm sure that they are for her, but upon appearance, right? And so they're always just kind of like, sultry looking, right? And so in order for me to create this, I have to take away that element because of the expression. Like even when Sevvy gets excited, I've never seen her eyes get like really bug-eyed, right? And that just could be because Sevvy is a chill person. She just comes across like the person that nothing ever bothers Sevvy. Like she's not surprised by anything. Like she just, I don't know. She's and beautiful and she knows things and it just life comes at her and it doesn't seem to phase her. So I've watched her play scary games and stuff like that. And it's so fascinating to observe this about people. So I opened up her eyes more in this particular drawing and it's throwing me off because that's not exactly how she looks. So I am struggling a little bit with maybe needing to close them a little bit more, but we'll play around with that as it goes. If I take that away, yeah, see, that already kind of helps. These are little things that, for me especially, but any artist, like you pay attention to. We can get, wait. We can get it from the fundraiser stream Nomi did a few months ago after MegaCon, or for MegaCon, Moss ate mayo. Oh my gosh. I don't know if the rest of the people know who Moss even is. Lawyer looks. That might be what it is. She's got the lawyer look. But anyway, so I've got most of this, I think, fleshed out. I'm still trying to figure out the water. Water is not a strength of mine, but here we go. Trying to figure out. So now I think I'm going to try to work on the clothing. I've got most of the clothing kind of figured out for Fantastic's character. His doesn't need quite as much detail because he's further away. So we'll add whatever detail we need in coloring session. For Sevvy, we clearly need, let me get my picture up here. We need the winter gear on, but you don't want to ever start with clothing, because you need to know where the clothing rests first. So let me find a good picture. Oh, that's a really good picture of the outfits that they wear and try to figure out how, because clothing is not my forte. Okay, so I have all this. We're going to, let me get Sevvy. This is Sevvy. I'll put her in this little group here. I'm going to title it Sevvy. What makes a house a home? All right. And then I'm going to create a new layer on top of that one. Whoops, here we go. And I think we'll need to go with a much bolder color. Let's see, she's mainly reds and purples. We're going to do the opposite of that. I'm just going to pick the color. We're going to go in for green. And I think I'm going to do it a little darker so that I can really, really see the difference. Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness. Did your member chat go through, Freddie? I apologize if I didn't see it. Oh, there it is. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you and Mountain Mud. I know I don't really do it well. Now it's just kind of like hype. I'm supposed to be like, I'm sorry, I'm slacking, Mountain Mud. Good morning. And Spider Unlimited for 5 says Happy New Year, Tabitha. Wishing you nothing more than increased success, beauty, health, and many blessings to shine down from. That is so sweet. Incredibly incredibly nice of you. Thank you. I words are hard.
Not only do I spend the rest of the video feeling like an idiot, I also spend the rest of the video looking like an idiot, and you're not going to be able to unnotice.
Yeah. You can't unsee that. But thank you. Thank you for helping increase the Friday fund on this Monday. All right. Let me get started with the clothing really quickly. And by the way, in case it never comes across clearly, you know what? All right. Maria, don't pay attention. Turn this off. You know what she did? She went back and rewatched my stream, which was over an hour long, just to find out at what point I started drawing. So let's see if we can do it before the halfway mark. All right. Let me see if I can draw and gush at the same time. You guys don't, maybe you do understand, but I never thought that I would be here. It was a dream of mine, like many people's, YouTube and all the stuff and the whatnot. But the fact that you guys are so generous, the fact that you're here, the fact that most Mondays we have 30 people coming in and out, or watching at one point. I remember the days, which they're not bad days, they're good days, of when I had 5 to 7 people watching. And if that's where you are at right now, huzzah for you, because it's really difficult. I need a better picture of a boot. It's difficult to get there. You gotta strive, you gotta, it's hard work, man. It's humbling and everything. But anyway, just it's like, wow, people are watching me and now they're donating their hard-earned money. Like that is crazy. So if I ever come across as not grateful, sometimes, and maybe I forget things. Sometimes it's not like it's well, not sometimes. It's never about, oh, I forget it or I want to take it for granted. It's more of like you still can't fathom it and you just don't have the words. And so Motivation Monday here today, where keep going, keep trying, keep learning. I never really got apparently I just never really found the the rhythm on YouTube when it comes to making videos. I did start to find that rhythm last year, and then I quit because life and things, and some of some of the situation that happened with family and things like that, just how it is. And so I do want to get back into making videos, taking what I've learned and growing in that capacity. But man, these live streams have been breathtaking. Quite literally. Freaking Larry just gave $100. Freddie's over here giving the pesos. Achilles Jones is out here giving the euros. I didn't think I'd be that person. I wanted to be that person. I wanted to be for years. For years, I'd always tell people, they're like, what do you want to do with your life or whatever the case might be? And I'd always tell people, I want to make thousands of dollars using my mind. And then people kind of chuckle like, yeah, that's the dream. That'd be great. But that was true. And then maybe that sounds a little bit vague, but it's true. I wanted people, this is going to sound terrible. Truth hour though. I wanted I wanted to work myself up to a point where people appreciated my efforts and my talents and paid me money for it. It's the artist's dream. I don't want to say it's narcissistic because I have not always been good. I'm not always good even now. It's work. Excuse me. That's what when I tell you, I have it documented evidence, when I go back to this picture here. And I tell you that it took me hours to make Sevvy's character. Sometimes it comes quickly. Then I look at like Reed over here in the middle, and that didn't take me quite as long. Over here, this picture of Sydney Sweeney and Kevin Casalegno, it came quickly. But all of that because it led to somewhere. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's slow. And it's just, you want to be appreciated for that. You want to be appreciated for who you are. And that was the dream. It's every artist's dream. And I can't say I'm fully there because my ultimate goal, and I've never been shy about this, and it's coming to reality, it's coming to fruition, is that I always wanted to write and illustrate my own books. And here I am, slightly different, but I'm still telling stories with my artwork, and people like it. They love it, I guess. You guys come, you see it, and you want more of it. Some people have even bought it from me. And that's no small thing. And that means the world. And it kind of tells me, okay, I'm still not quite where I want to be, but I'm almost there, whatever that might mean in time. Jesus knows, he's the one in control of time. But like from where I started to where I am now to where I want to go, it's, that's the part about dreams that people don't tell you, is that I would say 75% of dreams is hard work and determination. And there's been many times where it was like, I should just quit. And I mean, I don't do just YouTube. I have other responsibilities as well. But there was many a time where it was like, I should just quit and just focus on this other thing, or just get a job at McDonald's because manual labor is where it's at. And I'm going to be making a video about commission work, as far as why you as an artist should do commission work, because I did not want to do commission work. I was afraid of commission work. But, well, I won't tell you what I've learned and why you should do it because I'm going to save it for a video. But I just want to say thank you, guys. People watching me play video games. I never thought I'd be that person. People pay me to play video games. You guys are crazy. And I love it. So thank you. So Monday motivation is that you need to work for your dreams. You need to work hard, but don't give up the dream. And then sometimes be flexible. Well, no, always be flexible in what that dream could look like. And that there are steps you're going to have to take to make those dreams come true that you didn't expect along the way. And that's not a bad thing. Freddie for 14 says lack of coffee tax for moss eating mayo fund. Okay, people want moss eating mayo. All right. Patrick, good morning. Good morning. I love these streams. They're fun and so chill compared to a lot of ones I watch. Yeah, I get that a lot. We're chill. We do have, hot take Tuesdays, but I try to be respectful when we do that. And I know you guys are getting sick and tired of me talking about men and women. I'm sorry. I find men and women very interesting. I can't help it. I am also now motivated to try and stream more. Mando, do it. You know what? The harsh reality is you're going to suck. If you've never done it before, it's going to be terrible. But if you make it fun, it's okay. I hope that helps. You're going to suck, Mando. It's going to be terrible. You're going to look back at it and be like, dear God. That's okay. Nobody really tells you that part about starting, right? And just try it. It's going to be great. No, it's not. But that's okay. It's okay to not be good at something when you first start. Why would you be good at it? There are some people that have might have a natural inclination towards something, but they're never going to be great at it at first. Why would they? I always do the comparison of babies. Humans specifically, we are meant to walk, we are meant to run. It is a natural instinct. It is a natural part of the evolution process of aging, right? Babies just naturally start learning how to walk, but they have to learn. It's something that's inside them that they're going to do and they're going to try, but they still have to learn. That's why babies fall all the time and they have bruises and cuts and everything because they're so clumsy that they just fall everywhere, but they don't give up and eventually they become Olympic champions. Right? In running and long jumping and all this kind of stuff. So Mando, start your stream and don't be afraid that it's going to be terrible because it will. But when I say it's going to be terrible, I just mean it's not going to be polished. It's not going to be refined. Heck, I've been doing this for a couple of years now. You guys know I mess up all the time. Freaking A, man, it's hard sometimes. But if you enjoy it, you have fun, and you just know that you're going to get better, it's going to be okay. That's something that's taken me into my adult life that a long time to have to learn that it's okay to not be good at something when you first started. Why would you? If you've never done it before, why would you be good at it? Don't put that pressure on yourself. And I will also, a little bit of unsolicited advice, Mando, if you can have somebody on who maybe that has a little bit of experience streaming and is fun to be around, maybe start that way. So there's not all that pressure on you and you can get to know the ropes. I never thought you'd be drawing me. Me neither, fantastic. I'm reconsidering my life choices. No, thank you for the entertainment. I enjoy watching you and Sevvy play these things. You can illustrate books now. Yeah, I'm gaining the skills, which is so funny, though. This is not the style that I thought I would want. Grape has sent over 10 kicks for a hype. We are the knights who say hype. I need to make that a video. Don't be scared. Be afraid. Be terrified because the internet's forever. Oh my gosh, Larry for 50 says, Tabitha, did you read the email I sent you? People appreciate you and will always present opportunity. Was that the old one? Like it was from a week or two ago? I did. And I appreciate. Hang on. Lost my pen. I appreciated that very much. Sometimes you don't know how to respond to nice things being said about you. I do appreciate that very much. We're going to tie together Larry and Spider Unlimited. $10 says, it ain't about how hard you hit it. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. It's about how much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. No truer words have ever been said. Except by my mother, who said, life sucks, but God is good.
Thank you.
It's true. It's true. There's been many times where I'm just like, my artwork sucks because it's not where I wanted it to be. And just nobody ever told me you're going to be bad when you first start at it because you have to work towards being good at it. And people don't understand that when it comes to artwork, so much of it is about observation. We talked about that in the stream last night with Mouse. Am I on the right? Yeah, I am. I'm on the wrong setting here, where it's nobody teaches you, like nobody, I say, if you don't have somebody teaching you why something is this way, why it works this way, then it's so hard to progress and move forward. We were talking about highlighting and shadows, and I don't think this is the right angle for her foot. I think make this a little bit bigger. I think it's a little bit flatter. Let's play around with this for a second. Yeah, something like that. We're still roughly sketching here. We were so for example, we were talking about highlights and shadows, and I was telling Moss that when it comes to color, doing your highlights and stuff like that, for a lot of people, such as myself, it was difficult to know where to put the highlights and the shadows. The answer is very simple. But when you don't know and nobody explains it to you, excuse me, how are you supposed to make those changes? So I told him, I was like, it's so simple. But for me, what I do is just figure out where my light source is. And they will tell you got to figure out your light source, but they don't explain it, why, the science behind it, or the science. I just draw Mr. Sunshine right here, and I will put those rays there intentionally. I don't do it anymore because now I have the experience, you could even put little arrows on it if that helps, whatever helps, right? And that lets me know that all of this side is going to be in light, and then all of this side is going to be in shadows. You could even draw, we did the little cloud to kind of give that idea. Whatever works to get the job done. But that I used to do that. Sometimes I would even just take a flashlight, even though it's a two-dimensional, it's a flat surface. I would take a flashlight and shine it on my paper just so that I would have the understanding where the light source was coming from. And once you understand that's why it works that way, it's so much easier to start coloring and drawing. So much easier. But I had to learn the hard way because I'm self-taught. I didn't have somebody explaining that to me. You're gonna suck, Mando. You've tried a few times. It is. Yeah, man. First few times I did terrible too. I always wanted to be an entertainer. That means, well, you're welcome. Fantastic. And you know what? Thanks to YouTube, you have that opportunity. People placing value in what you do is a phenomenal feeling. 100%. People are like, don't do it for other people. Okay. I'm an artist. Okay. Trying to make money. Of course, I'm doing it for other people. The harsh reality, too, for artists is that you have to do it for other people. Most artists are like, oh, I just want people to come to me and see how well I perform. And they want them to enjoy the meaning. And my art is only for the elites and the whatevers. It's like, come down off your high horse. You got to do what people like. Eventually, you'll find what you enjoy. And then it'll schmerge together. Yeah, people seem to like watching the process of improvement as well. When you think your artwork sucks, get a second opinion or guidance. There's that too. Or sometimes you just need to have a reality check. Sometimes your art does suck. It does. You just checked 10 days ago. I think I know which one you're talking about, Larry. Pretty sure I know which one. I try to file things. Hey, Kevin Tina, good morning for the science. I love the flashlight method. Yeah, again, I know it's kind of silly on a two-dimensional surface because it's not hitting anything, but you could literally just do it with anything, just take a something and then shine a light on it, and suddenly you'll see where the value system is when it comes to lighting and stuff. I can't for 5. Oh my gosh. Doing art along with the stream by painting a car. 66, I think Ooh. Like a real car? Or are you painting a model or something like that? But thank you so much.
Let's get back to painting, y'all.
So that way Maria doesn't get on my case. All right, we all know clothing and stuff like that, it's not my forte, but I think I think I've turned this enough. We're turning. We're going to Tabitha is attempting to get better at details like clothing and whatnot. So Motivation Monday, I'm happy with all of that I just said. But also, I have been attempting and am doing the 365-day challenge that's put forth by Kesh Art here on YouTube. By the way, shout out to Kesh. Would love to meet him one day. But I'm going to find his stuff. Here we go. Kesh Art. If you want advice for art and comic sketching and whatnot, this, that, and the third, highly recommend this young man. I think he's my age. Technically still a young man. Here we go. I'm going to paste the link. Number one, he's fun. He is entertaining to watch. I love the way he edits his stuff. He's got such a fascinating accent too, because I believe he's Indian. And but he's like, I think he's American. I don't know. He's like, westernized. But he does. I love his style of artwork, and he does a great job explaining why things are the way they are in an entertaining way. So if you're wanting to up your art A game, follow along with Kesh. Try the 365-day challenge. Some people have been doing that and posting it in the Artist Alley over on Patreon. Feel free. That would be amazing. All right, let's see. All right, that looks like a proper boot for Sevvy, I think. A real car. Amazing. That's a different kind of paint too. What kind of stand is that on for my tablet? I don't know. My dad bought it for my mom, and my mom never used it, so she gave it to me, and I didn't think that I would ever use it, and now I use it every day. And it folds up. Like, you can adjust it and stuff. My iPad's freaking out because it's changing. All right. It's adjustable, and it's got a pretty good weight to it without being too heavy. So sometimes I do carry it in my backpack when I'm traveling, so I can do art on the go. I can work on the go while I'm working. Okay. All right. So we got one boot, and then here's another one. So this is a great practice session for me trying to figure out how to draw shoes and their different angles. Yeah, see, that's already wrong. So, well, all right, let's draw the fur first. And then, I mean, her foot, maybe it's wrong. So this one's back a little further. So maybe it looks like that. And we do this here to indicate the whatever. But I appreciate all your support. I appreciate your likes, your giving, your conversation. Oh, so that leads me to then the conundrum. Hopefully we've been motivated. So here's the conundrum. AI art. We all know that I have strong feelings about AI art. But I'm specifically, though, my conundrum is with Twix. Ever since I've talked about this on stream before, but ever since Elon Musk has enabled it that you can alter anybody's image without permission, without consent, at the click of a button, you can turn an image into a video, you can re-alter somebody's image however you want to. There's been a mass exodus of artists from Twitter because, because of this situation. Because there's not even an option to say, no, you can't use my artwork. Like, there's some artists that don't mind it if people want to alter their artwork or whatever the case may be. It's few and far between, but it's fine. But there's not even a toggle switch that says, no, you're not allowed to do this. It's open. It's open and free for all. You can do whatever you want to. I've seen people do horrible things to other people's artwork. And, especially now with the evolution, and I've seen it where people are like, put this person in a bikini. No consent whatsoever. And suddenly it's sexualizing images. It's terrible. It's horrible. Is it creative and fun? Yes. But it's not ethical, and it shouldn't be legal, because you're using my content or somebody else's content without permission. And so my conundrum is here. Do I, How do I move forward? Because as an artist, as all artists, we need to be able to post our stuff in order to promote our skills, in order to get work, be noticed. How am I supposed to do that? I do a lot of networking on Twitter. How am I supposed to do this? Knowing that I can't stop it. Do I just talk about my art and just try to drive everybody to YouTube? Do I just say it is what it is and just I can't stop it, let the good times roll? The only thing that I can think of, and I looked online what people might suggest to combat this, the best that you can do is to heavily watermark it. And then also, like putting a disclaimer, like I was thinking about putting on my images, like basically if I finish this and post it, a nice big box here with my name, watermark, right? and then putting the little asterisk there. It's like, do not reuse, or, no grok consent. And just going forward, actually, that looks kind of cool. It looks like Japanese, I might just have to do that. If people choose to do it, I can't stop them, but I have at least attempted to make it known you are not allowed to do this. And it's hard. It's hard to figure this out because this is the world that we live in. And I don't want to be, look, I'm not saying I've never used AI. I've never said that it's never been a beneficial tool in some ways, but repurposing somebody else's artwork for your whimsy is not beneficial. It's not helpful. It's not okay. Without permission, it's not okay. They don't even credit. It would also be different. It would also be different if there was like, a little thing over here on Twitter, and we'll just put a little G there for grok, that if you clicked this button, number one, it would be good if there was like a permission toggle first and foremost. But then when grok reimagines these images, if grok itself would then also include, original artwork, name, title, where it came from, as best as it could. Like if you're going to retweet it, original source came from Tabitha, Dreaming Tabitha. You know what I'm saying? That at least would be respectful. I still don't agree with the fact of using it without permission, but at least crediting the artist. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing that is safeguarding art on Twitter. Nothing is safeguarding artists on Twitter. And it really peeves me. All of this creativity, all this whimsy, and like, how would Elon like it if somebody just at the click of a button just took his genius ideas and his concepts for, his space program and whatever, and just reimagined it, redid it, resold it without permission? It's the same thing. I mean, clearly he's not posting the blueprints for his rockets and whatever, and I understand there's that, difference. But it's the same idea. It's like taking somebody else's idea and just playing around with it and doing whatever with it without permission. It's not even fan art. It's literally just people that are bored and trying new things. They're not doing it for any purpose. Like there's no, a second of entertainment. That's it. And then it's gone. But meanwhile, artists now are being questioned whether their artwork is AI, whether it's their original art piece. And then also, I will say this is an ego thing. The hurtful part is that when somebody posts their artwork and somebody reuses it and modifies it, and it looks better than what the artist did. And people like that better than what the artist did. And you know what that does to the artist's ego? It tells them, just kind of like what I talked about before, especially young artists, it's like, I'm not good enough. What I do has no value. What I do is not accepted by people. And so now you have artists that were like, I'm just going to use AI because I'll never be able to combat AI. I'll never be as good as AI. My artwork sucks compared to this. Why bother? Why try? So that's where I find myself. I guess maybe I answered my own question. If anybody else has any suggestions, I would love to hear them. But I got a drawing tablet for Christmas and I was looking for a stand but I got a cheap wooden easel. You can look on Amazon. They have them there. You can do like iPad drawing stands. This is also like this thing has like you can adjust the size, you know, and it latches on. I mean, it's on there good. I don't have to worry about this falling out. We good. And in fact, I just like carry this around. It rotates. It rotates. So, you know, whatever you need. It's not this one's called Habcon. Some off-brand beaten whatever. Imitators have always been a problem since the beginning of time. I can think of some famous paintings. Yes. There will always be, you know, but the thing is they're not even imitating my artwork or not even just mine. They're not imitating other people's artwork. They're reinventing their artwork completely. And no credit is given. At least when you get a print of the Mona Lisa, we all know it's Da Vinci's work. Posting low res like 360p on Twitter and high res elsewhere could help. Wouldn't stop people, but might make it more difficult. The thing is, I can't, is that if I post low res pictures of my stuff, it tells other people I don't do quality, right? This is the, like, when you post low res stuff and it comes out all pixelated and weird, it looks like you don't know what you're doing. It's terrible. Oh, of course. There's always going to be the group of people that would rather have, you know, real people make stuff than AI. But you know, it's in the war of creativity that's always been there. I mean, look, digital artistry used to be frowned upon and replacing artists and all that. I get that 100%. So it's just like in my little specific niche, like what can I do to help myself, help my business? What steps can I take to protect my artwork, you know? AR images look cool, but I prefer the work of living, breathing, the artist, the soul. But I feel AI looks sometimes, but it's getting so good. It's getting so good. And this isn't, you know, this isn't even the argument of is AI better or whatever. It's just, and then there's also the argument that I've come to find with myself. And I think I know the answer to this. It's just more of like, which route do I want to take? I did download transparency. I did download the Grok app and I saw that they had the make a video thing. And I know it trains off of your artwork. I think myself, well, I'll get to the self-righteous argument for that, is that I took my little chibi that I made for Avatar, where I was sitting in the theater dressed as an avatar eating popcorn. And I turned it into a little video, or had it turned into a little video. Me be careful here, you know. And it was really cute and very well. I was surprised at how great it looked. Okay. And it was just like, oh man, this would be so cool. This would be really cool. You know, am I a hypocrite? You know, all this kind of stuff. I would like to learn animation, but you know, you get into you get into the mindset where it's like, I don't have a lot of time. I'm so far behind. This would be cool. Should I just post it for fun? All this kind of stuff. My self-righteous argument for that, for it being okay, was that I made the artwork myself. Right. I will say that then you could, you know, the counter argument is like, well, it's robbing, you know, it could be robbing an animator of a job. But it also could, you know, you say that it's gleaning from other people's maybe animation style. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Like, is it, you know, copying? Because it's my artwork. So is it stealing somebody else's? I don't think it's necessarily stealing somebody else's it's not stealing somebody else's concept, but is it stealing somebody else's method? I don't know how that works when it comes to video footage of AI imagery taken. Well, it's not AI imagery when it's taken my art and animating it. Like how I'm not quite sure yet how because I put the work in. I didn't animate it myself, but I did make a complete drawing. So I'm just kind of I'm putting the feels out there. I'm just being transparent. Okay, you have got to go. How do I get rid of this? You are number one, you're banned. And then I would also like to get rid of this. How do I? That's we're a family channel. We try to be. How do I get rid of this? Yeah. Oh well, it's there. It's just how it is. All right, we got 2 boots, Maria. 2 boots. Yeah, I know my life is my life, and people are going to judge one way or another. But I want to be authentic, and I will say the shiny brilliance of AI is very appealing. And so that's why I say if I use AI on my artwork, is that I don't know. Is that okay? I say, is that okay? All right, so we got boots. All right, let's look at our characters here. Conversation jogged my memory. A while back, there was a discussion about AI, quote unquote, art, and I said it looks like too polished, and you thought I meant it looked too perfect. Oh, it looked really looked polished. Over reflect. Yes, it does. Was the end of the stream. So I never called. Oh, okay. I understand. I understand. You're right. You're right. It's like all of a sudden I've seen these pictures of these women that look so realistic. And then the more I stare at it, I'm like, these women are flawless, right? Their eyebrows are perfectly matched up and their skin has no pores on it. Or if it does have pores, they do. We learned that in Photoshop class where it was called not high definition. I don't remember what it's called anymore, but it's where you are able to keep the I don't know how to describe this. You're able to keep the surface of the skin, right? Like the pores, the texture of the skin, right? But the actual surface of the skin, you make it clean and perfect. So this is one way that it looks realistic. This is kind of what they do in video games, right? You'll notice like when you look really closely, when they have their female protagonist or something like that, it zooms really close to her face. She looks realistic and you can even see the pores, right? But the actual texture, or excuse me, the actual surface of the skin is perfectly smooth. And that is the thing that kind of separates humans from animation. It's something that they haven't quite fixed, but they do that in Photoshop all the time with models and things like that. It makes them look airbrushed, makes them look perfect. It's smooth. So they want to make sure you still look human by allowing there to be pores or freckles, but the surface itself, they make sure there's like perfectly smooth, perfectly, like they don't have much differentiation in like the color and things like that. It's all smooth. Now it's high pass. That's one of the things, the steps that you do. You make a high pass. It's not high resolution. It's high pass. Resolution has to do with the quality of the image, not the making my brain hurt using words I haven't used and terms I haven't used in a while. The process. High res, like a high pass is a process. It's like a filter it's not exactly a filter, it's a tool, it's a process. It's part of the process. Resolution has to do with the quality. Like you can't take a crappy photo and make it high resolution. It doesn't work that way. You could try to enhance it, but it doesn't technically up the resolution. If you take a bad photo, if you take a low quality photo, it will always be low quality. You can make little enhancements to it to try to fool people, but at the end of the day, it is still a bad quality or a poor quality, low quality resolution image. There's no going back from that. You could take a high res image and lower the resolution. Right? You can't add to what's not there. You can only take away. So when you have low res, you can't add res. It doesn't work that way. All right. Come on, Sevvy, let's go. All right. So we've got snow pants, and then they have like long, see, this is going to be where it's interesting, is that they have these long coats. So, okay, so let's add what we can. So her hair would be covering, no, it would be here. So we're going to add a ruff, like the fur. And look, it's not just me, it's the science, There are AI upscalers, yes, but they don't technically increase the resolution. They enhance the image. There is a difference though between resolution. You can't add to what is not there. unless let's see. This is part of the scientific process that I am not fully aware of. Unless somehow you add information to resolve, not resolve, but to resolve. You have to add information that is not there, which then technically would be AI nabbing information from somewhere else, another puzzle piece, essentially. It would have to be AI grabbing a puzzle piece from another image to assume a perfect fit, to assume a fitted piece to this particular puzzle that makes sense, but is not technically a part of the original piece. And so it is the illusion of higher resolution. So technically it could be higher resolution because it's adding puzzle pieces that weren't originally there. That's the best way I could describe it. I think that's how that works because again, that would be like, it would be like me taking this cube. This is all there is to this cube. There is no making more of this cube. I could take away from this cube. I could take pieces off and cut them off, but I cannot add to this cube. However, if I did want to add to this cube, I don't have another cube. I'll just pretend this is another cube. I could try to attach another cube to this cube. But I'd have to get the information. I'd have to get the product from somewhere else to somehow add it and try to merge it together to make it. It's kind of like, also, I think it's like clay. You can make a mug and then you could, and then when the mug is finished, and you'll be like, man, I really would love it if it had this, this, and this. You could add more clay to that, but it's not part of the original piece. You had to get it from somewhere else to put it on there. And so there will always be a part of it where it's like, yeah, I had to add more to it, had to get it from somewhere else to add to it. So again, it's one of those technical semantics. How deep do you want to get into it? Situations where it's like, technically speaking, the image is not increased in resolution. It is borrowing resolution from another image or whatever the case might be. I think that's how that works. They're kind of wonky still, but work well to make photos higher resolution. Right. And I guess this is where it goes into it's like higher resolution. Like if you know, but to the common man, it doesn't matter, That must be what they do in CSI, they just borrow resolution from other images in order to get real. Hey, it's Maria. Look, Maria, we're drawing. We are drawing, Maria. I've been talking about you the whole time. Yes, that's how it works, which is why it gets wonky because the AI will make mistakes. Yeah. It's trying to understand and make the puzzle piece fit. And sometimes that puzzle piece, you ever put a puzzle piece and it's like, man, this looks right. It looks like it would work, but it's not the right piece. So it's close, but not the right, Mouse for $10 says, sorry, I'm in and out of the stream thanks to work, but my brother and sister-in-law got their gift over the weekend. Thank you for taking that. Thank you for taking that on for them. Means a lot. No, my pleasure. Thank you for giving me that opportunity. It helped me learn some new things, and I'm really glad that they liked their piece. Thank you for hiring me, Mouse. You didn't have to, but thank you. I hate you. I don't. Oh, Maria. All right. Technically, Maria, all I've drawn today is the boots and this. But I have drawn. I drew last night. We had some really good conversations. Now, Maria, how are you with clothing? You're right. I do. You know my secret. It's out there for everybody.
Get back to painting, y'all.
So enough of that. All right. So Maria, are you any good with clothing? Drawing clothing? Like, just curious. I got to make this clothing look like bulky because of the fact that it's, it's winter. This looks like there's like a lot of, see, when you stretch out like this. Oh, well, there's folds. There's some folds. So that's the hardest part for Tabitha. So we'll just do something like this, but I don't think, would there be folds this way? We are sketching. Hi, Ty, did you get my email? Just throwing that out there. Want to lock it in, want to achieve. Today's the day. Bruh. All right. See, the problem with this too, clothing is difficult because it doesn't really, match our bodies, right? And so this is making it look like Sevvy's arm is sagging, and I don't like that, but it could be real. That's what's fascinating about observation in the real world is like when you start drawing it, you're like, ew. That's why people hate fingers and they're hard to draw because they're like, do our hands really look like this? And then you're like, yeah. See, this just makes her arm look like a Shar-Pei. I don't like that. Sevvy doesn't have Shar-Pei arms. Or does she? She's always wearing long sleeve. I don't think I've ever seen Sevvy's arms. Much like her ears, they're very elusive. Oh well. DL for $1.99. He says stealing people's artwork sucks. Yeah, it does. So they're going to try to take these. Maria doesn't agree, though. Not really? Oh, okay. I'm still transitioning from copying clothing to my own. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Trace responsibly. That's what we say around here. That's my resolution this year. Transition from copying to finding my own voice. I hear. Wait, you know what? I drink to that. Hands and faces? Yeah. Hey, it's Hulk Smash! Jazza has some good tutorial. Oh, I've been following Jazza for years. Could you not tell?
Did that actually work? I think that actually worked. That actually worked. This is working.
I love Jazza. I think he's a leftist extremist. He's not extremist. He just has strong opinions about our country for whatever reason. It's so funny when other people here in America, maybe it's because America's so big, right? We really don't care about other countries that much. Just because we have our own problems to take care of. But man, people are obsessed with our country. He makes stuff about Trump all the time. And I'm like, I have never seen even on the right side, if you will, here in the art community in America, I haven't seen anybody post all right, look, fly in the wall, Venezuela. I have yet to see any artist be like, man, we really need to talk about, what is his name? Maduro and make him part of their art piece. And do a tutorial on him. I've never seen anybody do the same thing for what's her name? Angela Merkel. Is that her name? She is I don't know. I don't even remember anymore. The Prime Minister of Germany, who's doing a terrible job. Well, you know what I'm saying? Nobody cares. For some reason, people love American politics. I do understand that America pushes the wheel for a lot of other people. I get that. We are very much a strong source of economic value for many people, and that's why they're mad and whatever for things that we do. Nevertheless, I still think it's funny where it's like, I couldn't tell you who's running Australia. I have no clue. Don't care. Not my country. But for some reason, we gotta they can't help themselves. They got to talk about Trump, Simply Nail Logical. I think she's very intelligent and she's funny and all this kind of stuff. She's been for years had strong opinions about Trump and the whatnot. She's Canadian. Why does she care? This was years ago. This was Trump's first time in. She made nail art with him and was making fun of him and mocking him. And it's like, I have never seen a nail artist in the United States making Justin Trudeau nail art. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of funny. Any leader of the rest of the free world or the not so free world, it's like, I don't know. What is that? Why is the rest why is it that America just doesn't care about the rest of the world, but the rest of the world cares about America? Yeah, I don't know. Probably because we're amazing. No, I mean, other countries have amazing parts to them. I always thought it'd be neat to go to Australia. I don't know who's in charge of Australia. I don't really care. I don't know. There's great parts of America where if you want to come to America, Trump doesn't care who you are. It doesn't matter. You come here and you vacation here, help yourself. Nobody cares. I don't know. One thing for sure is definitely is modest. Sevvy's great, man. I love her. Plot twist: Sevvy doesn't have ears. All right, I would have agreed to this, except that one time she did show me her ears. Most artists are leftist, unfortunately. That's not true. Most loud, well-known artists are leftist. I'll put it that way. Because it's kind of like what they say with the silent majority, right? That would be like saying most Americans are leftists just because of the state of the country that we're in and the ideas that are no, it's just the people that preach the loud. The left have figured out how to preach the loudest and to get things done. It has always been the downfall of the Republican side. The Republican side is too busy infighting with one another to ever get anything accomplished, and that's why our country is in the cesspool that it is. Democrats, on the other hand, are brilliant at banding together and getting the job done. I applaud them for that, as it should be. If you're fighting for the same cause, you have unity. Unity is powerful. Unity is influential. The Republican Party just can't seem to figure that out. They suck! Anyway, just and proper, honorable trash. What are you doing? I forgot what exactly brought that up. We were talking about Jazza, and I was talking about how I like him, and I kind of made fun of him a little bit, which I'm sure he doesn't care about. Which led to talking about how other countries are obsessed with our country, and I've never seen a single American nail artist paint Justin Trudeau or Angela Merkel or any other, or Mondaro or whatever his face is, on their nails to talk about their leadership qualities. Nobody cares, you know. When was the last time you saw somebody color Prince Charles? Nobody cares. I don't know. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Exactly. You know what they say? Love might make the world go round, but money greases the wheel. She tricked me with prosthetic ears. I wouldn't put it past her. Her ears are actually really adorable. Yeah, that's because we're too busy keeping to ourselves. We're too busy making our art and getting unnoticed. Exhibit A. I don't have time. All right. So we got a really fluffy arm for Sevvy. I think this works. Let's see. The rough over here would have, or the fluffy thing would have to be pretty big on this side because of the foreshortening. I think we may have done a really bang up job right here, which we're going to use the same brush, the brush that I plan to use for Fantastic's furry little edge there. I'm going to use it here too, I think. Maybe. We'll see. And then, okay, so she's got, how are we going to, like that? Are we just kind of making like softer versions of clouds when it comes to this? Have I just discovered a new method? That would be great. I don't know. We'll figure that out. My friend is obsessed with the royal family. I'm sure he paid. Well, see, but there's a difference. There's a difference between the royal family. They're basically like Hollywood celebrities. I hate to, compare them to Hollywood celebrities, but in essence, right? They're not looking them. From what I've seen, most people don't obsess over the royal family because they're leaders and they're diplomats. They obsess with them because it's like they're royalty, they're beautiful, they're fascinating, they lead private lives, they have babies, and we need to know everything that they do. We need their hair care routine. Prince Charles is a leader. Nobody cares. But you got Kate, and you got her bald husband. What's his name? William. You got William. They got their beautiful babies. And it's just always fascination. And then, all this kind of stuff. Like Blair, what was his name? Blair something, the prime minister of UK, or nobody cared. Nobody cared about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as that goes when it comes to, honestly, I find it too strange to call another human being your highness. Well, but that was part of the culture. Like, if we as Americans could never understand that. We could never understand that. But they're used to it, Yeah, famous for doing nothing, 100%. Well, they're not that pretty. Well, actually, I don't know. I think something that I like about the royal family as far as Kate and her husband are that they look like real people. Beautiful, right? Well manicured. They've got money, obviously. But like Kate looks like a beautiful, regular woman. Like you could see Kate walking down the road. It'd be great. Like she just, you could picture her in her jogging pants, maybe hair up in a ponytail, and she would just look like a together, lovely, normal woman. You see somebody like Kim Kardashian walking down the road, and no hate to Kim Kardashian, but she's had so much work done, and her body is not a normal female shape, and again, she's had so much work done, and the way that she carries herself, she's a spectacle. And I don't mean that in a positive sense. You know what I'm saying? Because Kardashians in this country are like royalty, and that's in that sense. And so by comparison, I like that about the royal family is that they look like normal people. The fact that William's balding, no hair plugs, no toupee, no coloring. It is what it is, man. I appreciate that. I do. They die in car accidents. Rest in peace, Diana. Did you know that the royal family is not allowed to travel altogether? Thank you, Alasia. Alasia and I agree. It's a great Monday. We're agreeing. We're in agreement. Okay. Yeah, Kate, I think she's beautiful because she looks like a normal woman. She looks like somebody you could actually aspire to be. Like if I wanted to be Kim K, Ariana Grande, back when Ariana Grande was healthy looking. The work I'd have to do, the effort, the makeup and everything like that. The brilliance about Kate there is that she wears makeup, but it's more neutral looking, and she does get her hair done, but she looks like what the average woman could accomplish to look together and beautiful. And that's a good role model in that case. I don't know. Kate might be a horrible person. I don't keep up with her, but I'm just saying, Kate looks like the achievable, beautiful woman. I bet she would have been like one of those knockout creatures back in the 60s if she would have been there. She would have been the woman that all women would aspire to be like back in the day. But we've distorted what femininity and beauty looks like. That it's, oh my gosh. No, well, you better get a dog then, get you a dog. I don't kiss people I don't know. Get you a dog. Or go find your mother. Yes, she presents herself like a lady. She's dignified and she's normal looking. British accent. She's more silicone than a woman. Yep. It's terrible. For all we know, Kate could be throwing food at her servants because her breakfast was 100%. She could be a horrible woman. But I will say that typically you can see that aura about a person. Oh yeah. Thank you, Alasia. I should have done that. I don't know how to like get rid of the conversation. My problem is I don't know how to get rid of the conversation. We had somebody in here asking a really dirty question and I banned them, but I didn't know how to get rid of it from the chat. I need to figure that out. Just keep it clean. We try to be yeah, there you go. Ban them. We try to keep it clean, family friendly here. We're not afraid to talk about certain topics, but we keep it respectful and we keep it mature. Okay. The other part about winter clothing is that we're going to take some liberties here because winter clothing makes every woman look terrible unless you're wearing tight ski pants. Okay. But even then, so, well, you ain't going to know it. We ain't going to repeat it because it was very dirty. It was very immature. And unnecessary. And it's definitely not the way that one should be talking to a lady or any female. You know what? I don't even care if you're trailer trash. You shouldn't talk to a woman that way. I don't care if she deserves it or not. No. Anyway, but it's yeah, this is the hard part about winter clothing is that it makes every woman look like a sack of potatoes. Like all the girlish curves in the world don't matter if you're wearing a winter coat. So we're gonna try to take some liberties, and but I don't know how I'm gonna make. So like the coat, it's closed. All right, so it's like closed in the front here. We'd have to bulk it a little bit to give the idea that there is that. And she is turned a little bit. So if I do this and then we maybe just like flare it out, kind of like a cape. Although when you're falling down, it would be going up. So I'm wearing winter clothes wrong? What do you mean? Elaborate, Justin. I know how to get rid of chats in YouTube. This combo, it was in Kick. Yeah, it was in Kick. Nasty little perverts is. I've seen women dressed in scarves, fluffy jacket, and a cute hat, and they look darling. Yeah, but they don't. It's not. Yeah, they might look darling. That's totally fine. But their figure is completely gone. You know, because you want to. All right. So how would this jacket go? It would go up on the leg like that, and it would kind of bunch right here because her leg is lifted up, right? Something like that. Hey, John the Just. So nobody's concerned about figure if you're wearing a big jacket. The purpose is to be warm. You're talking to women, though. We want to look cute. Justin. We want to be warm and cute, okay? We want it all. That's why we're women. Does it make sense? Of course not. But women want to look cute. We want to be warm and cute. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Where is it? Okay. Have to ask you, have you seen Pop Flex? She's got cuter clothing for winter. One day, if my YouTube channel does anything, I'm going to splurge on myself. I have not. Well, so far I see jogging outfits. Let's see, shop all. What do we got? Long sleeve, hoodies, coats and jackets. Oh. Well, that one won't keep me very warm, but it's very pretty. That one's really nice. Oh. Okay. Still, this is adorable. It's cute. It's fashionable. But the long and short of it is that no matter what, if it's going to be puffy to keep you warm, it's going to take away from your figure. But again, practicality, it's fine. So that women wear these outfits to make sure they still. It's nice, like this puffy packable puffer jacket. Pillow packable puffer jacket is super great because guys don't pay attention. They don't care like this, but it's got the V's on the side, the split on the side, and then it rounds off instead of square to add to the girlish figure. It's got the band across the chest to accentuate the breast area, which is nice. So it makes total sense. It's still puffy and it still takes away from, our natural figure, but it's so great the way that they've designed this because again, it meets the criteria of cute and warm. Pretty and warm. Rather than just wearing a jacket. Thank you, Alasia. Maybe I'm a splurge. I will be traveling soon to cold climates, work and all that stuff. Oh, this one's nice. Bomber jacket. What is this one? Adventure clothes. Alasia, thank you. Snaps. That's the thing, too, about living in Florida. It's like I got rid of all my winter clothes, but then when I do travel, I was like, oh, I got rid of all my winter clothes. Now I have to buy new winter clothes. Maybe I'm a body. Ooh, good reviews, too. Although, wait, something a little sus. Hang on. These reviews are the same number as this one. Oh, no, wait. I see variation. Okay, all right. Okay, I have to read the reviews because when they're like, I love it, it's so great. And then the next one's, it's so great, I love it. And you're like, bots. No. But exactly. It's not, no, the question is not being able to find a cute jacket. Women, we find cute jackets all the time. The question we were saying is like, can you wear these bulky outfits and still retain your girlish figure? No. Unless I guess it's cut in an hourglass shape, but it also depends on your figure, if you don't, but that's what's great about these. It's like this optical illusion, and that's a big, if I get pregnant again, I might get the paternity pin. Girl, you deserve it. Why wouldn't you? Your body's going through a lot. Yeah, but when you find this, Justin, don't come in here acting like you know what women have to go. Don't be acting like you know. I mean, unless you know. How would you know? Has Justin been female this whole time? I don't know. I was fooled. Yeah. They're getting pretty good at insulating thinner jackets properly. Yeah, this is true. I do have a goose down or what is it called? A feather down vest that you can scrunch up, and it does keep me very warm. This is also so the other thing is too, I guess maybe I'm going with the archaic mindset because of like natural fibers and stuff like that, because now most of our clothing is made with plastic. It doesn't breathe. Ergo, it keeps you warm. So you can make thinner material. So it does help and accentuate your girlish figure because it's all plastic. But then you go back to then that's the problem. That's a whole other problem. It's like, do I really want to wear plastic? Ooh, bearskin, dude. Women. You may. All right. That's true. But I will say, for the most part, it is difficult for women to find winter clothes that help them maintain their female figures, because, of course, the purpose of winter clothing is to be warm. That's the practical application. But women want to look pretty, so that's why we now have these Pop Flex Active outfits that are really meeting the criteria. Look at all these colors. They even have more than just brown and black. Wow. Hey, Kings, what did you walk into? A very passionate discussion about women's clothing, because I'm trying to draw Sevvy with a winter jacket on. But so I was saying the problem with winter jackets for women is that it takes away from their girlish figure. And then Alasia let me know that I could potentially find. So, all right, here we go. So I've got, with this would kind of scrunch up too, right? Like it would kind of, maybe the direction. I'm trying to learn how to draw clothing, Kings. And so far I think it's going okay, but we're just in phase 1 process. This is why I love your streams. You get into so many things that have nothing to do with art. 100%. Although sort of, the thing is, Mando, we could follow the trail and that it leads back to my art piece, because like I just said, the reason we're talking about the struggles of women and winter clothing is because I'm trying to draw Sevvy and maintain her girlish figure while drawing an accurate bit of winter clothing. So. Because the other thing is too, is that you kind of don't really want form-fitted stuff in the winter too, because you got to be able to move. I don't know, whatever. It's been a while since I've been in the winter, so. Yeah, it is. It's art adjacent conversations. Danny's getting ready to stream. Tell her I said hey. Tell her good luck, and tell her no handouts for friends. Tell her that specifically. No handouts for friends. She'll know what it means. And if she doesn't, you let me know and I'll correct her. All right. So we got, see, the problem is that then the bulkiness is not matching with the arm. Okay, so this is what I was erasing. So the bulkiness isn't matching. It's not lining up with the arms. Right? Somehow this is not coming across as puffy. So maybe got to be cohesiveness. Maybe. It's got to make sense. I don't want it to look like she's wearing a trench coat with puffy arms. That takes away. It's not good. Hello, John Graber, the space jockey. Happy New Year. By the way, thank you for the kind words the other day. Seeing so much prayer and kind words from the community has really helped me. Yeah, 100%. You know? You ever seen High School Musical, Kings? We're all in this together. Just me? Okay. This is right. Predict where a tab of the stream conversation will go challenge? Impossible. Oh, I love it. I love High School Musical. They were playing that in the store the other day. Where was I? And I was like, holy freak. I went to the dentist the other week and I was nervous, of course, because, just what it is, expecting bad news. And I was sitting in the lounge. It's not called a lounge. What's it called? The waiting room. And all of a sudden, my ears pick it up. I'm like, they're playing Hannah Montana. I have a good feeling about this place. I suddenly was like, I'm going to be okay. These are my people. Okay, so we're going to do something like that. And there's a giant belt. This is going to be, okay, so we don't have to draw it accurate, but I think that's kind of, you wake up, it's raining and it's Monday. Looks like one of those rough days. Time's up. Let's see, it's been a while. Time's up. You're late again, so get out the door. It's not the right key for me either. Feeling like you got nowhere to go. Don't you know? You can change your hair and you can change your clothes. You can change your mind, that's just the way it goes. You can laugh and cry, but everybody knows. You can always find your way back home. And see, you can change your style, you can change your jeans. You can learn to fly and you can chase your dreams. You can, did I already say laugh and cry? Always find your way back home. Between that one and Life's What You Make It are some of my personal faves. Cause I know exactly who you are. Cause the real you is a superstar. You know you're never too far away. Okay. So then we're just going to make a giant belt loop here. We might have to modify the silhouette once we get some of these embellishments just to be able to see where this goes. Let's see. But you're welcome, Kings. Life sucks, as my mom would say, but life is good. But God is good. And it's true. Those words have definitely helped me out in the previous year. Sometimes you're only at the point where life sucks, and you have to get to the point where you can say, but God is good. And God's not going to, the great thing is God is not going to rush you into that part. Like God understands and God knows. And it's such a great day when you realize God knows that life sucks. And then it's also a really great day when you can get to the point where you realize, but God is good. Life sucks, but God is good. Which is why Jesus was like, hey, I'm going to leave, but I'm not going to leave you because I'm going to leave you with the Comforter. The Comforter will come. Because Jesus also, if anybody knew how much life sucked, it was Jesus. So I'm grateful, when you do kind of wake up and remember, okay, life sucks, but God is good. He didn't just leave us here to rot and deal with our problems alone. Sometimes it feels like that, But the truth, if we want to believe in truth, the truth is that's not the case. But sometimes it takes a while to wake up to that truth. I've been there. You know that. You know, Kings. You know my story. So sometimes it just takes a while to get there. It takes a while to let the healing start. And sometimes God's like, you know what? I have bigger plans for you, and you're stuck in the situation that you think is best for you. So you know what? Afuera. And suddenly your life is turned up topsy-turvy, and you're like, this is not part of my plan. And God's like, I know, because you won't move. You won't do stuff. So I had to take drastic steps for you. I'm not just saying you, Kings. I don't know the situation, but I know in everybody's life or in their personal journey, there comes a time where God's like, you know what? Drastic times call for drastic measures. These humans are taking too long. They need a little nudge to do what they're really supposed to do. So maybe take it as a sign like that, Kings, where God's just like, I need you to do better things. And you, maybe, I don't know, could be, maybe you are stuck thinking that you were where you needed to be. And he was like, no, Kings, I need you to be doing this. I need you to be doing this. And he's like, all right, here we go. Maybe. God doesn't leave us high and dry. He doesn't leave us high and dry. I never liked High School Musical, says Justin Proper. Ban him from this chat. People don't break out into... That's because it's a musical. You know, if people did break out into song and dance during study hall, we'd probably have a happier world. Justin. You want to get back to the story? But the songs are part of the story. No. Stick to what you know. If you want to be cool, follow one simple rule. Don't mess with the... Don't mess with the... No. I don't remember. It's been a hot minute. Stick to the status quo. I can't mute. I know. Karaoke at MegaCon? I know Joe wanted to. We should. The song, not you. That's two of the same thing. Freddie says serenade the chat. Oh, thank you, Freddie. Thank you. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to justify my terror. I get nervous. And so I don't sing. I can sing. I just get nervous, you know. I absolutely believe that I have been drastically moved by the Lord. And although it was hard at the time, it was worth the big picture. Yeah. Wow. All right, Alasia. You have a child, so I'm going to let that slide, but got my eye on you. Justin, you're the biggest hypocrite. People don't just randomly burst into song. But I'm going to go see a musical tomorrow night. You missed. It is better by far to stick the stuff you know. I'll sing the Troy Bolton part. There you go. Where was I? They were playing we're soaring, we're flying. There's not a star in here. You know what would be a dream come true? Sort of. Whoops. Was if Zac Efron and Zendaya just decided, or even just Zac Efron, they just wanted to give up. They just wanted to give up acting and just make music. I'd be okay if Zac Efron wanted to just sing. He's got a really good voice. Like if you see him and, you know, in what's it called? This is the greatest showman. I mean, I knew he could sing, but like now that he's older, matured, everything like that, really great voice. You didn't see it because you're a man? I don't think gender has anything to do with it. All the kids back in the day were humming them High School Musical tunes, and they all had the Troy hair. You met Vanessa Hudgens once. Oh, that's so cool. You feel like God threw you in deep end with a weight and said swim? Right? It's true. We all get to that point at some time in our life, whether it's coming or it's been. But he still never leaves you. It's kind of like when a parent throws their kid in the water and says, "Swim. I'll rescue you if I need to, but you got to learn how to swim." Yeah. See, okay. There you go. Yeah. I don't expect a 54-year-old man to watch High School Musical unless his granddaughters or his grandsons are like, "Grandpa, I don't know if you're grandfather, but like, your youngins, sorry. I don't know. I feel like I just made an ageist comment and that's not what I meant to do. Um, but what I mean is like if little kids were coming up to you and said, "Hey, let's watch High School Musical," versus, I was like a teenager when that came out. I was probably too old for High School Musical, technically, but my friends were all like 4 years younger than me. So it was kind of like in their era. And I just I enjoy musicals. I grew up on Seven Brides for Seven Brothers and The Sound of Music, and so, um, hey, Wasp, good morning. You only like musicals, but on Broadway. Wow. You suck, Justin. I'm just kidding. It's fine. Everybody's got their thing. All right, so we've got a belt. She's still looking more like she's wearing a trench coat. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to bulkify this, especially when it comes to the chest area here. I might need to increase the width here. We'll figure it out. It's all going to be great. Sevvy's great. We love us some Sevvy. She's one of my favorite. Oh, I should be gaming. I have to check with her. I should be gaming tonight with Sevvy as well. I can't remember if we finished escapee rooms or if we're doing something else. Here we're gonna do something like this. Anyway, I do need to get back to commission pieces and video editing and whatever. This has been an amazing segment of the Brush Hour, and I appreciate every single one of you being here, despite the fact that some of you don't like High School Musical. It's okay. Jesus teaches us that part of the fruit of the Spirit is forgiveness. So it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. But anyway, thank you all's amazing generosity today. That was crazy and out of left field. Holy cannoli, Batman. But we will finish off the Sevvy. I'm gonna fix her face. Something is off about it, but she is supposed to look a little bit crazy because she abandoned Fantastic for a soda can in the ocean. I appreciate all of you and thank you for hanging out. Be sure to hit the like button. Check out the shorts that are on the channel as well. I'll be back tonight on my gaming channel. Should be in the description box down below. Usually we play around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time because Sevvy is on the Monday hangover. And that being said, after this show ends, I will be over on Patreon in the Makeover Monday session, or chat room, I should say, where if you would like a critique, a healthy critique of your artwork because you want to elevate your skills, and you want to have better understanding of what's quote unquote wrong with your piece. It's not that something might be wrong. It might just be not highlighted enough or shaded enough, or maybe you don't know what it needs. I will give you my educated and professional assistance in that. So Makeover Mondays, you post your picture and I will be live in the chat of that. It's not a stream, like it's a chat room, like back in the olden days. It's a live chat room where you post your picture and I will give you 30 minutes of my time after this show ends and we'll go over what I think could help you in your drawing pursuit. Also, there is a free chat over in Artists Alley Patreon. It's just a safe place where you can post your artwork anytime, any day. And it's a nice, healthy community where we reserve our judgment. There's no critique unless asked for. If you would like to post something because you're an artist and you're just like, I would like some encouragement. I would like to feel safe and comfortable posting my artwork because I'm really proud of what I did. We have people that do 3D printed artwork. We do sketches. There's paintings. There's digital artwork. All that and this, that, and the third. And it's just a great place to hang out, chit chat, talk about it. I'm also posting artwork in there on Patreon for my 365-day journey. I might modify that where instead of posting every day, maybe I'll post every day for January. But I think I'm going to get to the point where I'll just post it at the end of the week. Also, there's available even here on YouTube memberships where you will get access to coloring pages, behind the scenes videos, all that in the third. There's also the merch shop where you can get the Dream Team. You can get Like a Fool. You can get Brush Hour merchandise if you enjoy Brush Hour. Thank you to everybody that's already purchased stuff. You can get the Know Me Like a Fool sticker on there. All of the great stuff. We're going to get some new merchandise. I'm actually in talks with somebody about possibly getting a Mary Mossmas cookie cutter. So anyway, I hope that you guys have a great rest of the day and on advice on where it could be improved. 100%. 100%. So I'll meet you over there if you're curious, if you are interested. And until the next time, I wish you all adieu.
If I was watching this video, I would like it. I would like the video and I would probably subscribe because this is so thoroughly entertaining.